As a third-time mom having another hospital birth, this is what I'm packing, knowing from my history what I truly will use and what I wish I brought with me to the hospital, especially breastfeeding backup items just in case something crazy happens, like emergency C-section, preemie birth where they take away your baby and you have no option but to pump, or anything basically that covers a situation where you're not able to immediately breastfeed your baby. I do have a backup breastfeeding bag here with some essentials and even some of the other essentials that I will be using as I will be breastfeeding my baby for the first time in the hospital. If you know my history, and you can definitely check out my breastfeeding series, you'll know that I've literally come across almost every breastfeeding problem there's out there. Both my first two babies did not latch for different reasons, or I should say my first baby did not latch, and I'll speak about that in my next video on 10 things I'm going to do differently as a third-time mom in a hospital birth to basically avoid that from happening again. But basically in this bag I have my stuff and some of the baby stuff, and then finally in this bag we have some camera gear. Obviously you guys know I'm a content creator, but not just for that. I want to remember giving birth to my baby. I want to document my baby meeting his older siblings and everything that's going on in this last time that I take on this journey. So I will talk about what's in here as well. So you will find everything I talk about in this video in the links in the description box below, along with coupon codes. If I have coupon codes, they're in there as well. And don't worry, I keep those updated, so make sure to check those out. So I'll go ahead and starting with my bag right here. I just used a regular carry-on. Okay, so you have what you expect: toiletries, which I have some of my great Moroccan oil shampoo, my conditioner, and body wash. And I have some Listerine in here. I have some my Gold's Bond lotion. I can't live without putting this on my face. As you guys have probably noticed, I have really dry rosacea. And then I have my toothpaste and chapstick. So putting the toiletries aside, one other thing that I actually still need to go to the store and get is Colace. And that is basically a stool softener. Colace in case you are given pain meds. And you would only be given pain meds if you had, you know, a very bad laceration. What happened is that I was given pain meds with a 3rd-degree tear. They even gave me some to take home, which I did not end up taking home. But basically what those pain meds and narcotics did is they make it even more difficult for you to pass a bowel movement. And imagine the fear of trying to pass a bowel movement while you have stitches going all the way back. So Colace is a must-have even if you don't tear at all. You don't want to be pushing too much. And again, this comes from my history and birth trauma that I had and birth injury. You don't want to push too much because you also don't want to aggravate anything that would cause a prolapse. Again, a little too much going down a different road here, so I'll just go back to what's in my hospital bag. So I have a few baby outfits here, and they are, again, this is where it comes in, third-time mommy. They are these little cute skirted outfits that will cover the baby's legs, and then you can pull up and down really fast and easily because newborns literally pee and poop a lot. And when I say a lot, like every diaper change, there's poop, especially if you breastfeed. So that's what I have, 3 of those outfits. I have 2 swaddles for baby. One is the Halo swaddle, which automatically has these basically Velcros to hold his hands and arms in. I don't want to use the hospital blanket because that keeps falling off. This is just a lot easier. I also brought a different swaddle where he is able to keep his hands up. So I wanted to try that. It still constrains their hands and their arms, but it's still allows some freedom. So I wanted to try that with him, see how he likes that one as well. That is all I have in regards to clothes. It's very minimalistic. I have newborn diapers. Believe me when I tell you, they will outgrow the newborn size so quickly. I don't think I'll even maybe go through 1 or 2 of these. So definitely do not buy too many newborn size. This is a diaper brand, Coterie, basically that is organic, clean ingredients, because babies are so sensitive to everything when they are born. So I'm being very careful about what I put on him. And this also comes from the fact that my first was colicky. Colic happens from allergies, upset stomach, or maybe being exposed to chemicals. Nobody really knows what causes colic, but I do have a video that I created at the beginning of my content creation career on all the research I did on the theories that would cause colic. The other thing for baby is I am getting pure lanolin, and basically this, it provides, it says on it, it protects the skin from harsh environmental conditions, and this is the, basically it's a natural moisturizer that can promote smoothness. It's derived from the wool of sheep, and it is remarkably close to our own natural skin oils. So again, you'll be changing your baby's diaper a lot. They will be pooping and peeing a lot. I used Desitin with my first 2 that has zinc oxide. So again, trying to go as natural and clean as possible with my 3rd baby. So I am using this as a protectant on his skin so he doesn't get any diaper rashes. That covers baby items. It's very minimalistic. Anything else that I may need will come directly from the hospital if I need it, or my husband can drive home and get it, and I will release another video on what other things I wish I took, just in case I forgot something as a 3rd-time mom. But so for myself, a lot of moms out there are buying kits like the Frida mom kits for postpartum and spending a lot of money on that, or spending money on big bladder incontinent diapers, because there's this common understanding that you're going to bleed so heavily that you'll need diapers. In my case, and I want to just straight out say that wasn't the case for me. Once you give birth, you bleed and the placenta comes out, and they pretty much get everything out of you literally within the first 1 to 2 hours. I did not bleed more than a regular pad's worth. So I'm actually taking a regular pads. I use the hospital ice pads that they provide, which provided some coolness that felt really good, especially with a 3rd-degree tear. Even with my 2nd baby, I was pretty swollen, but I always, into the 2nd day, was in my pads, and I was spotting by the time I left the hospital. So it wasn't, for me, I don't really usually have heavy periods, but this works perfectly for me. I'm not taking any diapers or any crazy underwear. They'll give that to you at the hospital. If you're a heavy bleeder, maybe you can consider that, but I didn't need it. Another thing that I'm taking to the hospital is these witch hazel pads. Basically, this will calm and cool as well, and especially if you have a bowel movement and you ended up with hemorrhoids during birth, or you had them before birth, this will help with that as well, instead of using regular wet wipes. And then another thing that I bought is this sitz bath spray. I've done a lot of research, and if you've seen my previous videos, you know that I've had birth trauma and I've ended up with prolapse. You should not, and this comes also from doctors that specialize in this field. I'll say it's so sad that the hospital system pushes regular sitz baths where you sit in that coned thing that you put in the toilet. So much pressure is put on your pelvic floor. Instead of doing that, instead of sitting in a sitz bath and putting so much pressure for 10 to 15 minutes 3 times a day, I decided to buy a sitz bath spray instead, which will soothe the perineal area, again with witch hazel for postpartum relief. I will be using this, and I will not be putting pressure on my pelvic floor at all for the first at least month. Everything that I do will be in laying down position to help promote the healing of my prolapse and help everything go back to normal. So I definitely urge you to look into that. I'm personally not a doctor. This is strictly based off my experience and my research. The other thing that I have, which is a must-have, is, and this should technically be in my breastfeeding bag, but I have nursing bras, and Willow Willow has come up with some great nursing bras. This is the Luxe bra right here, and it's very, very, very soft, and it also accommodates. I actually have a video on this. I'll put it in the description box below, but it accommodates the changing sizes of maybe your breast, and also putting in their portable pumps, which I will be taking with me, the Willow Go, and also have the Willow 3.0 as a backup if I need it in the hospital. I can't recommend these bras enough. I also just ordered the daily bra that they came out with, because you obviously need more than one or two. I have two here, and I will be getting more outside of the hospital. I'm not going to get a belly band, because a belly band will put too much pressure on your pelvic floor, and this is straight from pelvic floor therapists. What I'm doing is I'm taking my very comfortable pants. These do go up above the belly button, and they have some support, but not enough support to where you can't breathe like a belly band. So this will help things go back in place and help support my core without really putting too much pressure. So I have a few of those. I have a few comfortable shorts, and I also have a few comfortable baggy t-shirts, and also bringing my own towel. You want to make it as comfortable as possible for you in that birth room. Don't just see it as a hospital room. See it as a place that is going to be your home for that one night or 2 nights that you're going to be there, because feeling comfortable and positive thinking is what enables you to have a pain-free and tear-free birth. You definitely need socks because if you're like me, my feet get cold, so I love to always have socks, especially if I'm going to be walking around the hospital floor without shoes. Get some socks, get the ones with grippies if you need to. And then finally in this bag, I have my slippers, and my slippers is just for me to walk into the bathroom or take a quick shower while I'm there. I plan on drying my hair and washing it before I go into the hospital, so I wouldn't have to really wash my hair while I'm at the hospital. The second bag that I wanted to talk about is the breastfeeding bag. Whether you want exclusively pump or half pump, half nurse, or just nurse, some of these items may be very helpful for you. So this is the new Willow bag. I love this thing. It makes you feel like you're not just carrying around a baby nursing bag that kind of looks beat up and ugly. This has a leather feel and does have a pouch in the bottom that accommodates their other pump bag, where you can put your Willow Go or your Willow 3.0 with some bags in the pouch above it. The bottom pouch of this Willow bag is also completely removable, so if you don't want to carry the pump in the bottom, you can carry it in the top, so nobody's gonna fault you for that. This bag is also amazing because it has a strap that you can put it around your shoulder, and it also has these backpack straps, so you can put it on your back, especially if you're carrying baby or doing something else. So what I did is, most of these items, the ones that are sterilized friendly, I went ahead and already sterilized them in my Baby Breeza sterilizer / dryer. The reason I went with a new baby sterilizer, I had a different one where it just sterilized, but this one actually also dries, and I love that because I always had a big problem with taking everything out of a sterilizer and putting it on my Lazy Susan or those bottle racks that end up getting really disgusting and moldy from recurrent use. So it felt like it beat the purpose of sterilizing if I'm about to put it on this really nasty surface. So I love this Baby Breeza sterilizer because it just pretty much dries it out for you and it's ready for you to use. The first thing I want to talk about is, assuming you have a normal birth and baby latches perfectly, and I wish that for you, there's a few things in here that you can use as a basically assistant to you nursing, and that's what I plan on doing. I plan on completely nursing the first 6 to 8 weeks, not doing any bottles, just to make sure my baby does not create an aversion to the breast. The number one thing that I'm bringing with me is my Elvie Curve, and you guys may be familiar with a Haaka Pump, the one that sticks out of your bra. The biggest problem that I had had with that as baby nursed on the other side is that the baby would kick that off. The milk would go everywhere. So what I love about the Elvie Curve is it does create suction, and also it sits in your bra. So you can collect all the milk on the other side, especially when baby creates a letdown, because when you have baby on one side, your other breast will automatically start letting milk out, believe it or not. So you definitely need something of the sort. If you don't want the Elvie Curve, maybe because it's too big and you prefer something smaller, there is the Elvie Catch, and they make two for both your breasts. They come in two, and what's beautiful about this is that it's smaller than the Curve. It doesn't create suction, but it does collect your milk if you need to collect it as baby is nursing, or just have these on if you have a lot of letdown in between nursing sessions or in between pumping sessions. It will capture all the milk instead of it going in a pad, and then you can put it and save all that liquid gold. Coupon codes for these two in the description box below. Another thing that I will be using as a regular, hoping that everything goes well, nursing mom, is the Silverette cups. I wish so much that I had these cups when I first started breastfeeding my first and second baby, especially my second baby, because I had very badly sore nipples and I even lost skin and ended up with rush after that, because I basically shouldn't have done this, but I created an anaerobic conditions by not using something that my nipples can breathe in. Because of that, I ended up having to take baby off breast and pump temporarily, and because of that, he did not want the breast again. So these Silverette cups will soothe the nipples and also help you heal in between nursing sessions, and they have all those properties. Please make sure you get the originals, because there are a bunch of fake ones out there. I put the link of the originals in the description box below. Another thing I'm taking just in case of sore nipples is a Nipple Shield, and I hope I don't need to use this. This is something that will help shield your nipples in case you get too sore. There is a learning curve for baby with this, and it is a little harder to get the milk out with a Nipple Shield, but I will be taking this knowing my history. Oh my gosh, I cannot speak enough about taking electrolytes. I already, being pregnant, take 1 electrolyte packet a day, sometimes 2, because I just have low blood pressure in general, and I need a bunch of electrolytes to keep pregnancy headaches away. But I am taking these to have a good supply for baby. Not only do you need baby to latch on to create demand, but you also need good electrolytes. So I recommend this brand right here. Definitely check it out. Another thing that I'm taking with me is coconut oil. I bought this container off of Amazon, and I put some coconut oil that I will be using, knowing that I can put this on and my baby can latch on without any poisonous ingredients in it or anything that can harm baby. I love that I have that option. I also got some nipple balm just in case I needed to take it up a notch. So I have both of these taken with me for sore nipples. Now let's get into possible problems that you may run into as a nursing mom. And let's say baby's too sleepy, he or she will not latch, and you want to get the breast pumping going. I'm taking my manual pump. This is a backup to my original pump, which I will be taking, which is the Willow Go. I have the Willow Go down here in the bottom pouch, already tucked in this cute little bag. And I have my Willow Go already sterilized, ready to go, along with the recharging plugs in case I needed this. Again, I don't plan to start pumping this early in the hospital, but this is a backup just in case baby gets taken away for any reason. You have to go away for any reason, you had surgery or whatever. Basically, as a backup to get the breast pumping started, because it will affect your supply, and take it from someone that has learned this very important lesson when I was a first-time mom. It will affect your supply if you wait until you get home 2 days later. So definitely take a pump with you. The Willow Go is my go-to. I will take the Willow 3.0 as a backup to the Willow Go as well. I have, just in case battery runs out, I was unable to charge them for any reason, I do have a manual breast pump, hand pump right here. Also, oh my gosh, I cannot stress this enough. So as you can see here, I I have the Dr. Brown's glass. This is also for colic, unnecessary gas going into your baby, and as well as I don't want to expose him to plastic so early on in life. And I also have Premie Nipples. I bought those specifically just in case something really bad does happen where baby does need to take bottle the first few days in the hospital. They are not taking, for example, a formula bottle, which my first took, and he ended up not wanting the breasts after that, so I had to exclusively pump, which led to postpartum depression, all that fun stuff that I'll talk about later. Already sterilized and ready to go in here. I have some wipes for the pump as well as a spray in case I needed to clean the pumps. I'm not sure I completely trust random sink in a hospital, so this is how I will be cleaning them. Another thing I have is some disposable breast pads. This is basically all I have for breastfeeding items. If you are going to be breastfeeding, definitely check out my breastfeeding series where I basically compare all these items and show you how they are used, especially Willow 3.0, the Willow Go, or the Elvie Pump, whatever you end up getting. Moving on to the last bag. Now, if you are going to be taking pictures on your phone or whatever it is, you don't need this bag. But if you want to take really nice pictures of your baby that are really cool in the hospital, capture very important moments, this is what I'm bringing with me. So first of all, this is my baby bag. This is the bag that I will be using. Lots of great pockets. Actually looks really good to carry around. Right now I'm using it as my camera bag. The one thing I'm taking is my Sony a6400. Right now I'm taping on it with my really nice Sigma 1.4 focal length lens. Basically that lens will create a beautiful bokeh background, which means like a blurry background. So if you want to take some really nice newborn photos that look really professional. Another thing I'm taking is rechargeable batteries in case I want to move around. You know, if you're there for 2 or 3 days, you want to make sure that you can recharge. I also have a direct plug-in cable into the outlets that keeps my camera rolling despite the batteries. That's also an option. Another thing that I am taking with me is a very big 256 gigabyte SD card. And this is because I will be taping the whole time I'm there. If you know you're not going to tape that long, go smaller. But I thought this will give me the option to tape as long as I want to and have all the footage that I need. Another thing that I'm taking with me is my other lens, and this is a very wide lens. Basically what I'm going to be using the wide lens for. Both my lenses are wide, but that one has the focal length for great blurry background and autofocus. The wide lens is more, it gets everything in the frame. So if you need to get as much as possible in the frame, you want to get every part of the room that you're in for whatever reason, you can do that by placing it on the 10 setting. But I'm taking my wide lens to actually record the birth with it, and then I'm taking this 1.4 Sigma lens to take nice pictures with. So I will be doing mostly wide lens. And then lastly, and again, you know me guys, I like the innovative stuff. The last thing I'm getting is this really cool tripod after a lot of research, okay? It is a little pricier comparing to tripods you'll find on Amazon, but it is because it comes with its own little innovative features that I love so much. It's the PGY Tech tripod. It has a lot of features, and most importantly, what matters at a hospital setting is that you can put the camera on the top. It has this innovative technology where you can spin your camera as much as you need to without it getting loose. And then obviously if it gets loose, it's really hard to trust that it's not going to fall off your tripod. It has a ball head tripod, basically where you can decide whatever direction you want to go, and then from there, once you have it done, just close the latch. And then it also has a capability to put a light or a microphone for a really good sound recording. What's beautiful about it is it can be a selfie stick. so you can hold it like this. It can be a low tripod. It can be a regular tripod, just like that. And then most importantly, it can hang off any surface. So if you have something, you want to hang it off and get your camera recording something, you have nowhere to put a tripod, it can hang off of a latch or a door or something for you here. And then the other thing that I like about it is you can hang any phone. Instead of a camera, you can hang your phone from it. So it does have that extra capability. So definitely check it out. I wish you a smooth, pain-free, tear-free, and healthy birth for you and your baby.